So right now, crypto is all over the mainstream media. I mean, it is absolutely everywhere. Everywhere you turn and everywhere you look, they're talking about Bitcoin, especially in the last 24 hours that Bitcoin hit over that $100,000 mark, even though it popped all the way back down to 93, 94, 95-ish, depending on the exchange you looked at. And it has still been this topic of many conversations. I'm going to show you a clip in a second of Jerome Powell. You might have seen this clip, but I have a different take on this clip. Donald Trump congratulating Bitcoin for hitting 100,000 and saying you're welcome. And he's not wrong. Bitcoin was hovering around 67,000 before he was elected. And then it's gone on a tear all the way over 100,000 from 67,000. You've seen a huge run up in the price of many Bitcoin or many cryptos, especially Bitcoin, several of the altcoins, as you've seen. But I have a completely different take on a video that in Jerome Powell was at a summit talking about a plethora of different items, but the topic of Bitcoin does come up regularly now. And this was just not the case 4 years ago and 4 years before that. It's become very mainstream. So let's take a quick look at this video. You've probably seen this. I'm going to make sure you can hear it, but let's take a quick look.
People use Bitcoin as a speculative asset, right? It's like gold. It's just like gold, only it's virtual. It's digital. People are not using it as a form of payment or as a store of value. It's highly volatile. It's not a competitor for the dollar. It's really a competitor for gold. That's really how I think of it.
So I love that clip. This is Jerome Powell. He's the chair of the Federal Open Market Committee, the Federal Reserve Board chair. And so this guy is the foremost expert in the way banking systems should work and money should work. But I think he's got crypto wrong. He says that it is a competitor of gold. That I agree with. I do think gold, it's been put on notice. Now, to say it's not a store of value is insane. I mean, people buy gold. They take their dollars and they exchange it for gold so they can store more value than they would have if they just kept it in cash. Why does he think people are buying Bitcoin? Speculative asset. That means that it's a gamble. Well, it hasn't been much of a gamble over the last 15 years. I mean, yes, it's gone up and down, but over time it's gone up and to the right, and it continues to do so at a faster clip, and it's outperformed just about every other major asset class out there. So to say that it's not a store of value just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but he did acknowledge it, and it did acknowledge that it is a competitor to gold. So for that, I'm thankful, but he's not the only one in the news. We've seen Vladimir Putin was on stage talking about Bitcoin and saying you can't stop it. Now, I think that was more of a reference to BRICS and his means to get away from the dollar and maybe using Bitcoin to sell arms. Who knows? I don't want to get on his bad side, so I'm not going to say a whole lot. But that is, it's crazy to think that major world leaders are all talking about Bitcoin. It's such an exciting time. Here's another one. Donald Trump just is going to recommend Gary Gensler's replacement of Paul Atkins. Now, Paul Atkins is a crypto advocate. This was very bullish for the cryptocurrency markets as well as Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies. Now, hopefully what I'm hoping to get out of the SEC is some regulatory clarity. Not saying, hey, you're good, and then going after them in lawsuits after the fact. If you look at Gary Gensler's suit against XRP, you think about it, what XRP wants to do. They want to become a world currency. Now, they're faster and cheaper than Bitcoin, so it makes sense that Bitcoin might be the store of value, and XRP or something like it will work as the world currency or the world exchange or the world clearinghouse. That might make sense. That would be terrible for the dollar, but the dollar is doing it to itself. And I really hope we can get our debt under control and inflation under control, because right now, every dollar you keep in the bank is becoming less and less valuable over time. It's been said many a time by many economists, if you leave money in the bank long enough, it goes to zero. So that being said, there's a lot of excitement in crypto around the world right now. Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin did drop again, not pop, but it did drop again. If you look at Bitcoin, it hit this 103, 104 mark. popped all the way down to 90,000, depending on the exchange. We'll call it 93, 94. Now it's up around 97,000. And so I thought I was showing that. I was not, but it was around, it was up to 104 down here, about 97,000 right now. I still think, we're going to be over 100,000. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. Do your own research. I'm taking you along on my journey. This is BTCC. My Margex account, if you watched my last video, I'm never going to use Margex again. That's for my own personal reasons. Do your own research. Make sure you understand what you're getting into. I'm just saying I'm using BTCC, a much older exchange, a little more widely accepted and known. I did have to show my ID and things like that. So it is what it is. I don't keep a lot of money on these accounts. This is just purely for trading. But here's the deal, is that crypto is in a spot right now where it has the absolute ability to just go through the roof. If you look at the crypto bubbles, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance is dropping. You look at the bubbles. I mean, everything is lining up. This is the week. This is the day, Jasmy just on a tear. 41% today. Sui had a great day, 16%. I'm trading that through Pionex. I had some trades on Margex with it, but I liquidated the ones they didn't liquidate for me, and I got most of my money out of there. I'm still waiting on one. But look, crypto, having a great month, having a great week. A couple of them had a great day. How'd they do in the last hour? Okay, crazy. You see 5-6% in the last hour on some of these. But long story short, there's a lot of opportunity right now. I do believe that we're just about in altcoin season, if we're not already there. We've already seen some altcoins run up, like Cardano, XRP, Sui. We saw a run up in XLM, Stellar. We've seen these things happen. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next week. It's like we're in a constant state of the last 2 minutes of the most exciting football game ever, or basketball, whatever you like, or football, or soccer, I should say. So that being said, thanks for watching me. I know this was a long, drawn out, droning speaking, but I'm just super excited about crypto and the prospects moving forward. If you're not a subscriber, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.